say agenda, but what are your top 3 main efforts for bigger and wider things for 2012?
Okay, I'll start. Okay, well, because everyone else is trying to think of a response. 3 big things for brighter and better Unitec. Well, at the moment, we've got a USU that's currently, you guys elect an executive, right? But are you really engaged with the executive? Do you really care? A lot of students don't really care. They don't feel comfortable coming to the executive, nor do the executive feel comfortable coming to us. We want to make the USU more approachable for students so that they can come to us, not just to Amy and to Joseph. From there, we can, because we are elected and we go, this is what students want. But is it really what students want, or is it what we want? We can guess that students want events such as Zumba, or students want events such as Comedy Festival, but have we actually asked? Or have the students actually told us? Do we know? For example, Waitakere held a Toy Story night, family friendly, nice and lovely. That was students that wanted it, but they didn't even go to the USU. Man Alive hosted that, and that's something that we could have jumped on board with, provided students, and we can do something like that in the future. Does someone else want to?
What I personally would like to see done is, really for my department, I really want to see more engagement with USU and TBE, because we're all out in the middle of nowhere, and I just want to see them come to more stuff and be acknowledged as a faculty a bit more.
I do have something to say, but I'd like to know if there would be anybody else that would like to say anything. Okay, a goal that I have within the USU and for Māori students is to work with our Māori success strategy, and to bring that on and make sure that it gets implemented in the right way, because as Māori, our SNR rates, which is success and retention, are lower than a lot of the other students from other nationalities. So I want to work on that, but I also want to work on SNR success and retention in my department as well, because I've noticed that there's been a lot of drop-off from the people that I knew in semester 1 and semester 2. So success and retention is the basic of what I want to do within the USU.
Yeah, a good question would take over to how are you going to engage and approach students that's different from the way it's been done this year and the previous years? What would the main sort of...
We've got 3 ideas in mind. As a coalition, we want to be creative, innovative, and just get the job done to the highest quality standard. Now, in terms of engagement, we've noticed through our class talks, through our barbecues, through the other stuff that we're doing, that the one-on-one interaction works really, really well. Especially out at Albany, there's been no engagement with USU there whatsoever. That's strong enough to actually encourage students to actually come to us, bring their problems, bring on feedback, and things like that. So we want to really get in touch with the students at a ground level and really make sure that we push that through and actually achieve the outcomes that the students want.
It's about keeping it simple. We found just simply going and talking to them, the fact that they had never had much of a USU presence before there, and it happens across the board. Our class talks as well, some of them have been very in-depth and have gone up to an hour long. And this is simply because students have never had someone from the executive face-to-face. We all know who Pete is, but do the students actually come up and talk to Pete? Does Pete, I have to imagine Pete would, and when he has the time, come and talk to students. But we can
Sorry, am I allowed to argue a point?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, can we
I
ask that
beg-
question to the other students?
Okay, I beg to differ with Will, because I am an exec and I'm very, very much engaged with the business school. Extremely engaged with all the students in the business school. And I do push you can ask all of the exec team. I am vocal.
Okay,
And there's no way backing me down.
Students communicate with her.
so who's engaged with the architecture department?
I think it's as a general consensus rather than within our own departments. I think that's what
Yeah,
Will's
but
trying to
what I'm
do.
also trying to say is that not all execs sit back. We do our work, and it does take time.
Can we, I'd like to answer that question as well. How, in terms of the USU needing to be more engaged with students, that's pretty much a no-brainer that needs to happen. And basically that question has been, in my opinion, asked and answered by the new system we have designed with the current executive and the current staff that will be rolling out next year, where we will have a much greater level of engagement at in every faculty, and exactly how that's going to occur is going to be done on a faculty by faculty, class by class, department by department basis. But at the level of engagement and student representation, this is something that we have spent, what would you say, Pete, probably about 4,000 or 5,000 hours on at least this year collectively, not me personally, collectively actually designing a new system that we are currently rolling out, that we're taking the first steps, so it's going to happen.
What involvement did you have in that?
We
We'll leave the
said
question.
Oh, not
Yeah.
debate. Sorry,
Yeah.
I get put on.
Just similar to what Will said, could
I did see you.
three people who were on the executive in the past, could you list your achievements for the year that you've almost completed? What achievements have you done in terms of changing things for the better for the students?
Me personally? Well, I'm reluctant to take too much credit for anything done by the executive as a whole. The initiatives that I've brought forward personally have been mostly around clubs and grants, getting more funding, making more funding available to students. The things that I'm most proud of is my involvement, and I think will have the biggest long-term effect, is my involvement in the development of the new representation model, which anyone who's a student rep, hopefully by now, will have already seen that model. I'm not going to go into it now because that's an hour speech. But
Sean?
This year I've been pretty independent. I've sort of worked outside the norm of the general executive position and decided to take on a few projects which have sort of fallen behind, haven't really been maintained by previous executives, and really one of my goals, mainly for semester one this year, was to bring the executive back up to scratch, back in line with what everyone else is doing through policy review. I've also made changes to the way the election system works, and there'll be more changes coming with the new student rep system. And we've also I have worked with Shannon on the club system. Still a few things that need ironing out, but I think we're on the right track. There's going to be a lot more work involved, but hopefully we'll get there.
I have achieved quite a bit though. I've got extra tutorials for one of our hardest subjects that we got a high fail rate in. I have achieved also getting past students that got high grades to help the students that are having a hard time. I've also now just been put in a subcommittee to have resits done for the hard subjects in our department. So I have done a good thing for our department, but unfortunately to say I haven't done for a lot of other schools. So.
Yeah. Your question, bro.
How exactly do we provide free car parks, but